Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful Wednesday evening, Wednesday night for the people. We are here. We are ready to have a show. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in here. My name is Booner, as always. Detroit Lions beat reporter Matt Broder.
What's up, everybody?
In the house. We've got KG
Wednesday.
in the house, as always.
People?
And we've got Nick in the sound booth, as always.
In the night
The
time.
full squad here. We're ready to put on a show for the people. We've got a packed show here for you guys today. A lot happened, actually. A lot of things going on in Allen Park. Broder was down in Allen Park all day long, it felt like. And I don't know, did you speak with the coordinators today? I know.
No, it was Dan Campbell today and Scotty Montgomery, the running backs. The running backs coach.
Typically, it's the coordinators' day, and then I saw all of a sudden on my phone, I got an alert, and it said Dan Campbell's at the podium. I was like, maybe Dan's locked in.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell is that right here. He had this exact hat on, just white. He is locked in today.
Oh, yes.
This week going forward, he is absolutely ready to go. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. It is Wednesday.
Yeah, Let Me Down Wednesday.
How many more days until the game? About 4 or 5 more days until the game. A lot of news coming out about that. Some guys
Which
coming
one?
back. I'm talking about Sunday's game.
Okay, Sunday.
We'll get into the national championship. Don't worry. Hey,
I just want to make sure, there are 2 huge games for the state of Michigan.
we're gonna get into that. Don't you worry. We're gonna the next 2 days we're gonna talk about the national championship game.
2 days.
Because I don't think we're gonna end up having a show on Monday. Is my guess.
We'll see.
I got a dilemma about that national championship game, boys.
Whoa.
When we get into it, I'm gonna need your guys' advice.
Okay, Kelly Rowland. All right.
All right, Nick.
Little Nelly.
Can't wait to kind of help you out with that advice then. Let's get this thing rolling real quick. And KG, I know. Let me just give me a thumbs up whenever you have some of the graphics there.
Right.
Want to start off with this though, real quick. I don't know if you guys saw the news throughout the NFL all day long. A lot of quarterbacks sitting out, a lot of people sitting out. We're actually going to have a segment about injuries and guys sitting out next. But a lot of different things going on with that. The biggest one and biggest news to me around the NFL when it comes to that is Lamar Jackson sitting out because it officially, and I think everyone can kind of put the check on it. Lamar Jackson is going to be the MVP. And with that too, I just saw his numbers.
Straight cash, homie.
It might just be the worst MVP numbers of all
That's the
time.
thing about the MVP. It
Might be the worst
but
MVP.
but can you deny that he is the most valuable
No,
player
but it's
for
just
his
there's
team?
no one out there this year that really has stood out, and he's been that guy. I mean, he's on the best team in football with the best record, and he hasn't. It's not that he's put crazy numbers up, but he's just been very solid. He hasn't hurt his team, and he's been very, very valuable and the most valuable player.
Yeah.
So it's just no one's really stood out. Patrick Mahomes had a bad year. Josh Allen struggled. I mean, if he just had maybe 2 more games that he didn't, he would have probably won MVP.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the worst MVP year since I've at least been alive.
I mean, there's just a lot of the NFL is pretty even. It's what's the word? There's
I don't know if it's even. I think it's down.
There are
parity.
2 horses
Parity.
at the top. Parity, that's the word. 2 horses at the top, a bunch right there in the middle, and then a couple at the bottom. I mean, it was supposed to be some of the teams in the middle were supposed to be the bottom garbage of this league. Colts, Browns, the Buccaneers. These are all teams where man, they're tanking for Caleb Williams before the season even starts.
Yeah.
They're in the Browns are going to have a 4 seed.
And I want to do this too, and I'm sorry to cut you guys off here, Nick. I don't want to cut you off, but we do get some breaking news and stuff here. I want to kind of throw out there. This is going to be going on for the next probably 20 minutes or this segment. At 8 o'clock, if you guys didn't know, the Pro Bowl stuff is starting to get released. I'm going to name off the ones here so far that I see. First one I see here. The Pro Bowl tight ends for the NFL. In the AFC, Travis Kelce, David Njoku. And in the NFC, your Pro Bowl tight ends, George Kittle and Detroit's own Sam Laporta.
Let's go!
Sam Laporta.
Sammy Laporta!
Shout out Sam Laporta.
Well earned, well deserved.
That's the first one.
So wait, you're telling me he's in a group with Travis Kelce and George Kittle and David
Yep,
Njoku.
which who's had a year.
Let's go, Laporte.
Pro Bowl
Massive.
wide receivers. In the AFC, Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase. And then in the NFC, Mike Evans, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and Puka Nacua.
What?
Amon-Ra St. Brown has gotten snubbed from the Pro Bowl.
What?
That is not a joke.
For
That's
a
crazy.
rookie?
I'm dead
What?
serious.
I know we just talked about a rookie on our team in the last.
Amon-Ra St. Brown
That is
absolutely
absolute
got
trash.
snubbed.
Are you kidding me?
And let's just get in. Let's just do Pro Bowl stuff the first segment here.
Yeah.
Stat,
What?
let's just go. I'm going to start naming some more, but let's just touch on this because this is
pissed.
actually breaking kind of news. Amon-Ra St. Brown, not just in the NFC, but in the whole NFL.
Win the Super Bowl.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, the only people right now that he is behind in receiving yards is Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and Puka Nacua. He is ahead of all those guys. He's ahead of Keenan Allen in yards. He's ahead of Jamar Chase in yards. He is ahead of Mike Evans in yards. There's no reason that he should not be in. I guess Mike Evans has 13 touchdowns.
That's fine.
Is the only argument.
It's
and
Puka.
I guess Puka has more yards than
Who
him.
cares?
Yeah, you could say rookie. I don't know. I think he got snubbed. He has 9 touchdowns. Puka Nacua has 5 touchdowns.
No, Amon-Ra has 10.
He has 9. Yeah, he has 9.
Does he have a rushing touchdown?
Maybe, but I know he has 9 receiving. I don't know. That's a snub, though. I want to do this as well because this is kind of shocking, too. I think this is another kind of snub as well, if I'm being completely honest. Pro Bowl running backs and fullbacks. Raheem Morris or Mostert in the AFC. Derrick Henry and James Cook. In the NFC, Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams. And this is going to really hurt Detroit fans. DeAndre Swift over Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery.
What are Swift stats?
I mean, he's above, but when you really break it down, who's really better? Jameer Gibbs, to me, I'm taking over DeAndre Swift all day. It's just they have a split backfield, and the Eagles don't. Pro Bowl
No
quarterbacks.
disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth.
Pro Bowl quarterbacks, the AFC, Lamar Jackson, obviously Tua and Patrick Mahomes. The NFC, Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford as a Pro Bowl quarterback, and Dak Prescott are your quarterbacks for the Pro Bowl. And I'm waiting on all the other positions here. That's all I have. Oh, I have one here. Defensive line.
It's trash.
Broder,
It's trash. It's
whoa.
garbage.
Defensive line.
It's garbage.
In the NFC, Nick Bosa, Montez Sweat, Aaron Donald, Javon Hargrave, Dexter Lawrence.
That's beastly.
And then, out of Detroit, Aiden Hutchinson is a Pro Bowl.
Okay,
Second
go,
year
Hutch.
in the league. Aiden Hutchinson gets the Pro Bowl nod for his second year
Good for him.
in
Let's
the
go.
NFL. First Pro Bowl, I believe, actually for him.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to him. And as well, too, I want you guys to know this, too. There will be alternates, and I'm sure a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown will be an alternate.
He better.
No,
David
no,
Montgomery,
we'll
I don't
be
know if you
playing.
guys saw this morning. David Montgomery put on his Instagram story that he's a 5th alternate, and he was pretty mad about that. So I'm sure these guys heard about it earlier. Pro Bowl offensive lineman. You guys ready for this one? Should we just keep naming these off to the people? Is this good
Yeah.
for the people?
Yeah,
People
let
like
it fly.
hearing this? Want to make sure we're not just doing this. But offensive line, offensive tackle, Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, and Detroit Lions, Penei Sewell.
If he wasn't on there, the Lions would probably take themselves out of the NFL.
Guard, the Detroit Lions do
Would
not
go
have
off.
any guards in the Pro Bowl. At center, Jason Kelsey, and Detroit Lions, Frank Ragnow.
He better be.
That's what I'm
Pro
talking
Bowl
about.
as well. And how great is this? I want to throw this up there. How great is this? I know Amon-Ra St. Brown got absolutely snubbed. I think Jameer Gibbs / David Montgomery, one of those guys, should have been in, snubbed. But how good is it that just reading off some of these names, we have like people in these. Like I know last year as well, but it is just it's pretty sweet to be able to be like, oh
yeah.
yeah, we've got some dudes. I don't believe we have any DBs. The DBs just got released. 0. Jerron Bland, Travarius Ward, Jalen Johnson, Devon Witherspoon, Jesse Bates, Buda Baker, and Julian Love are the DBs. Ooh, this is a big one. Linebackers. You guys think Anzo got in?
He's probably an alternate.
Micah Parsons, Daniil Hunter,
We count edge rushers as
Hassan-
linebackers in this?
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
no chance.
Hassan
Sorry.
Reddick, Fred Warner, and Bobby Wagner.
Wow.
I don't get the
that's it.
whole line like that dynamic. It's really weird to me.
And they have Hutch as a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I think it's just because he's listed as that.
They hit on that on the St. Brown Brothers show earlier. I'm wondering if that was like a topic of discussion. If that's why they consider linebacker compared to end.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the selections are. Oh wow, this is a big one. So main selections, and then I think here are the alternates. So the main selections. I could have just done this actually. How long does it take to throw up a graphic?
Which graphic you need?
I can text over this graphic real quick.
Okay.
Because they actually just released the graphics, the Lions did. So I'll just throw those in there. We'll go break these down. This is actually because there's a big one actually.
Amon-Ra St. Brown should be a starter over Puka Nacua. I don't care what anybody says.
Agreed.
I agree. I think. I mean, you could have the argument Jared Goff over Matthew Stafford.
Yes,
I truly believe that. I just saw someone on Twitter tweet at Woodward Sports. Jared Goff 4,200 yards. Matthew Stafford 3,900 yards. Jared Goff 28 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford 24. Jared Goff 12 interceptions, Matthew Stafford 11, and who has the better record. So it comes down. It's weird too, and I want you guys to know this too, and the people. Part of the voting is a third of it is fan vote. So it's really like 33% of the vote is just popularity contest. It's who gets the most votes, who's in the bigger areas, who has a demographic, like who's in LA and has more people. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it works. Who has the biggest fan bases? That's 33% of the votes. There are a couple there's a pretty sweet one on here, Broder. I don't know if you've seen the selections or gotten an email about it yet. But once we get the graphic up here, there's a surprise. A surprise for the people. I want the people to see this one and live react to it because this is.
I don't know what you're talking about, so hey.
Yeah, me neither. Should we maybe take a guess around the room each?
Yeah.
And Booner, can you keep a straight face?
Yeah. All right. Straight
How's
face.
How's your poker
Booner.
face?
Wait, so this is
so
for pro
guess that
Pro
has not been named yet?
Yep.
A starter?
Yep.
A starter.
Starting Pro Bowler.
I'm gonna guess.
There it is.
Brian Branch.
Germ! Special teams Pro Bowler.
Let's go.
Jalen
He deserves it.
Maven, man. He well deserved from that man. Honestly,
wow.
Very, very well deserved from Germ. You guys see it there. Aiden Hutchinson, Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, and Sam Laporta. And then right underneath that, you guys see the alternates there. Both running backs. That's probably special teams.
Yeah.
That's a special teams alternate. So you probably have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both running back. Jahmyr Gibbs first alternate, by the way. Amon-Ra St. Brown first alternate, Jared Goff second, Jonah Jackson. The conversation we had about Jonah Jackson to Graham Glasgow, Jonah Jackson is an alternate, second alternate as well, or third, I apologize. David Montgomery fourth alternate, Khalif Raymond fourth, and Alex Anzalone is a fifth alternate. So shout out to the boys, man. That is awesome. Didn't expect that. I put it in the prep to do it at 8:30 because I thought maybe like they release it at 8 and it's like a whole show, and it's not.
No, that was fun. That was fun. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown should be a starter. I can live with Gibbs.
I think Jared Goff should be over Matthew Stafford too.
Me too, but I could live with that. Just, I don't know. But it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can't put a rookie like that. If Amon-Ra St. Brown is having like a mediocre year, a down year, I get it. He's having a really historic rookie year, but come on.
Yeah.
He's not even close to Amon-Ra St. Brown yet.
No,
that's hard.
It's a snub. I'm interested to see Amon-Ra St. Brown's. And
Yeah.
You know what? You guys, obviously everyone knows this already, but the Amon-Ra St. Brown draft thing where he can name every single player in front of him, this is just another one of those things.
One more.
And this is like those guys at the Detroit Lions and Brad Holmes, they constantly bring in, that guys that have that edge, that chip. And it's just more motivation. It just stacks up and stacks up. These are guys, a lot of these guys that they bring in are guys who have always been underdogs, have always been like, we'll take him in the 4th, 5th round. Jared Goff, hey, we're going to trade him away. Like, that's what these guys are. And Amon-Ra St. Brown getting snubbed, it's just, to me, it's just another chapter in his story that's going to motivate him, that's going to get him to that next level. He should, and you know what's crazy too? You know what actually is insane? Is I think when the All-Pro comes out, he's going to be either first or second team All-Pro.
He's got to.
And he's not even a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you he'll be a first or second team All-Pro. Because that's voted on, I believe, by the coaches and the players. And I don't think they're going to snub him.
I'd be really interested to learn. I think every player wants to be named to the Pro Bowl, and that can still be a chip on your shoulder. But I wonder how much they really care of not actually playing in the Pro Bowl, especially with how it is now. You know, it's a flag football game. They do water balloon tosses and whatnot. I think it was kind of dying off in terms of players wanting to play in it even before when it was an actual game. But it'd be interesting to see. There is a financial benefit to going to the Pro Bowl, making the Pro Bowl, getting selected as a starter. I'm sure there's I don't know what the bonus is, but I'm sure it's pretty big for Germ. I'm sure someone like
Amon-Ra St. Brown did not make the Pro Bowl.
As a 4th-round pick, I'm sure he's got a huge, I don't know what huge look. I'm sure he's got a pretty big Pro Bowl bonus.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm actually shocked. I was looking at some incentives today, actually, of different things. I don't know if Amon-Ra has one, but I was looking at all the Lions incentives. There's only one player that has an incentive to play for this week, and that is Khalif Raymond. And guess what?
What's he need?
He needs 17 catches and 220 yards to get his first incentive.
What? How much does he get?
He gets like 100,000 or something, and then if he gets to 600 yards, he gets 100,000. 700 yards, he gets another 50, and then it was like 50 catches, he gets
hashtag feed Khalif. Feed Khalif.
So 17 catches or 220 yards gets him another 100,000.
I was gonna say 50 yards, we're hammering it, but 220 is a little. No,
he's very far off.
That's CeeDee Lamb.
No, he's very far.
There was one, and I know we got to go, but I saw a short on YouTube. It was an old. He's some quarterback gamer. He used to be on the Packers. I don't know if you guys remember I can't remember his name, but he was talking about he had.
Oh, I've seen these.
You know what I'm talking about? He had. Like number of play bonuses. So he went into a game his rookie season. I think he only played 1 year, and he was called in at the end of a game to kneel down twice. So he got $1,000 bonus for each kneel. So he says he got $1,000 per knee. I just thought that was like a per play bonus.
Yeah, I've seen that clip.
Put me in, coach.
I mean, there's active roster ones. I know there's some guys on the Lions when I was looking at them. There's a lot. If you're active within a week, you get like a 30,000. Like I know Teddy Bridgewater.
It's big time.
Each week that he's active, he gets $26,000 or something added on with like 100 or something. I don't know. There's some things on it. All right, let's get the show rolling on the road. You guys got the Pro Bowlers there. Obviously announced a couple snubs. Amon-Ra St. Brown snubbed. We'll get into that a little bit actually. Later in the show because I do want to touch on that again. I don't want to forget that. But we're going to get into kind of the press conference today, injury updates going into Sunday, and everything leading forward to this Lions game in this Lions playoff little run here. Let me tell you guys, though, real quick about Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared. Ooh. For you and 5 of your best buds, that is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like a landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party, the last one of the regular season. It's at Eastern Market. It's in Shed 5. Starts at 9:30 and runs all the way up until game time. So come hang out. Come pregame with Woodward Sports and all your friends around Detroit. We got food, we have beverages, and we have a lot of entertainment. So come get your ticket at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Bullseye!
Young money.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. As you guys come in, hit that like button for us. If you guys think Amon-Ra St. Brown got snubbed for the Pro Bowl, hit that like button right now. Hit it for us. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's start talking. We're going to get into this. Lions, Vikings, Broder. You were in Allen Park today. Dan Campbell spoke. They kind of went over some of the injury report and different things that happened. Little breaking news with that. Number one, Bruce Irvin is now off the practice squad. He is no longer with the team. I don't think they got waived officially.
He was released officially.
I think it was just he was on the practice squad. Done. It seemed like a mutual thing. There's that. But on top of that, 3 guys back into action on Sunday. Confirmed basically. At least not confirmed from the status wise, but with talks and the way Dan Campbell's talking, CJ Garner-Johnson, Aleem McNeil, and James Houston all should be playing this Sunday.
Who's that one reporter who says officially official?
Oh, I don't know.
It's unofficially official.
It is unofficially official. You were there at practice today, so you were able to see them out at practice, kind of see them going through some drills. Thoughts on, like, are these guys ready to go? Because I do have some questions here for you and for the people in the chat. And do we have? Let's do this. Let's first hit Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
He spoke on this, and the biggest thing with this, with those 3 guys, and with the players and the team on Sunday in general, is who's going to play on Sunday. Dan Campbell came out and he said, hey, listen, we do, at the end of the day, we still have the 2 seed to play for, as far off as it could be. But guys are going to play. Want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Here's Dan Campbell on going into the game Sunday and who's going to be playing.
So obviously starters will be playing, but do you have any young guys that you want to see more of this week, or any players for that matter that you want to see more of, get ready for the postseason?
Yeah, no. To me, this is about winning this game, and we've got, we're going to use our full arsenal here and go win this game. That's the objective here.
Guys that might be battling injuries?
No, I mean, there's some guys here. If we feel like the best thing for them would be to sit because of injury, no, we're thinking about that. We're taking that into consideration.
Will you guys have like a
I'll
team?
tell you next.
Will you guys have like a team watch party after your game, just to kind of see how the things shake out and who you'll face in the opening round?
Well, not that I know of, but I mean, everybody will be watching. But are you throwing one?
Bring the beer.
Yeah. No, I mean, everybody's going to be wanting to see it, and that's why you need to win, so that you're going to be excited to watch the games and see what happens. So, look, we got to go finish out strong. We need to go out, play good football, good, clean, solid, competitive football against an opponent that is going to give us everything they've got.
Everything you got.
All right, you saw it there. Everyone's going to be playing on Sunday. There are some questions, and I do have and I guess this is for you, Broder, because I don't.
Ask me anything,
with the injury report and everything, he did mention that there's going to be some guys with the injuries that may actually sit out, and they kind of have to discuss that. But it seems like if a guy's not injured and he's ready to go, like a guy like Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei, all the starters, all these guys that were just in the Pro Bowl, they're all going to be playing on Sunday because there is a chance of that 2 seed. And it kind of is a brutal situation because you play the 1 p.m. game, and those games that affect you are the 4 p.m. Maybe if it was flipped, you would have a better idea, like, hey, let's sit, guys.
But yeah, if you knew you were locked into the 3 seed.
Yeah, but you have to be able to kind of go out there and win just to be safe.
It would be the worst if you sat their players, you lost to Minnesota, and then the magic happens in Dallas and Philadelphia lose.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's it. And it's also that mentality. It's part of the Dan Campbell mentality. It's part of we just want to beat their faces in every single weekend. And they're an interdivision game too, an NFC North division game. So there's a whole lot more to it, and there's a lot that's being it's somewhat controversial what you could do. But I do think those players who he said maybe won't, like, depending on injury, maybe we'll sit some guys. Those are the players, like if Taylor Decker's got a nagging injury, or really anyone on that offensive line, possibly if they're worried about injuring it further, that's one of those times, like, dude, all right, we'll sit you, or we'll let you play a quarter or something.
I want to,
J-Mo.
and in the chat too right now, if you guys are all listening, I want everyone to drop in there whether you think that guys should be playing on Sunday or not, because I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm gonna be completely honest. To me, I'm not like a big fan of being hey, let's throw all of our best guys out there. Like, I do know you want to win, you want to get the 2 seed if that's possible. I think there's a 1% chance. I know it's 1% in the way Dan and them work. It's, hey, we have a chance, we're playing. Hey, we're kind of making that move, we're playing. It makes me nervous though that if you go look at got teams like San Fran, Baltimore. I know they locked the 1 seed up already, but they have a bye week and they're still sitting there, guys. So they're getting 2 weeks off. It's like
that's on Brad Allen.
That is. No, it is. But okay, but what you said there.
I know we're not supposed to talk about it.
We're moving on from that because I don't even want to hear that
But
anymore.
that's not related to the Lions. That is actually the case.
And that's the case, but
the entire NFL now has
change it.
This is more for the entire NFL, the entire NFC. Trent Williams gets 2 weeks off. Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey, they get to sit.
None
and
of
rest.
that matters with Brad Allen because it's never going to change.
No, I know, but that's
me. It's the situation we're in now is you have a game and it's not really a meaningful game to where, yes, maybe you have a chance at a 2 seed. Probably won't happen.
That's pretty meaningful, though, even at 1%.
Yes,
and I get what you're saying, too, but that's pretty damn meaningful. We argued about it yesterday. We talked about how much money's lost, everything that goes around with a guaranteed game at Ford Field. So I do get what you're saying.
I see what you're saying. It's just there's a 1% chance. If it happens, then they're like, awesome. But the chances of a guy getting hurt or something happen is a lot higher than 1%. So that's where my issue is you have a 1% chance of getting a 2 seed. How many NFL games and how many times this year, and I want you guys all to be completely honest with me, how many times this year has this Lions team taken the field and you left with 0 injuries? Someone tell me that. How many?
Not more than
probably zero.
One or two games.
Probably
maybe.
Zero. I don't think there's one Lions game
I guess J-Mo
where
got hurt this weekend.
You came off the field and you were like, we're all healthy. Nothing happened.
Boom, it's going to happen every game, though.
It is. That's why if you have a chance to get some of these big-time players a little bit, 1, rest, and 2, a guaranteed to get them to the playoffs, that's when you do it. And I get you want to win the game. Maybe you play them for a half and then you say, fellas, we got the lead. We're out. We've got a very reliable backup in Teddy Bridgewater. There's a reason you pay him as much money as you do. It's for a weekend like this. And it does make me a little nervous because there are guys on this team, because we're not the 49ers. We know that, right? Like, we don't have that depth. What's the one thing that we all talk about with the 49ers? They have depth.
That defense is
If
nasty.
a guy goes down, they have a guy back up. If a guy goes down, there's probably 5, 6, 7 guys on our team to where if they go down and you don't have them week 1 of the playoffs, there's an issue.
Yeah.
Like, you can be like, okay, we're in trouble all of a sudden. And that's what I don't want to happen. I mean, they're going to play, whether I like it or not. They're going to play.
What I think the strategy is going to be is that they get really aggressive in the first quarter, the first half. They
take the lead.
Try to get out to a big lead, or things go wrong. You get out to a big loss, like, all right, pull the plug.
Get it out.
We'll chalk this one up as a loss.
It just makes me nervous because the Vikings, they are playing. I think they still have a chance to make the playoffs. So they're going to be playing 100%, 110%, which every time you go on the field you want to. But that's the worry is the Vikings, they don't care. Do you remember what we did to the Green Bay Packers last year? Like, we don't know. They don't care.
Yeah.
If there's an injury, that's on us, and that's where I get a little worried to where there is that, and there's a chance at the 2 seed, man. But like, you need something special to happen, that 1% chance. I think there's a higher % chance of a guy getting hurt if you do play some of these guys. That's what I'm concerned about.
Fair.
And it's not really every guy. It's just a handful of guys.
Yeah.
Guys like Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. I'm trying to think of who else
I think if you sit more than
Anzo.
one.
Look at Anzo. He already got injured this year.
If you sit more than one of your offensive linemen, you should probably consider sitting Jared Goff. Like if you're going to go thin on the offensive line, might as well just keep Jared. So, because I'm not worried about him getting hurt if the offensive line is healthy, knock on wood.
This comment kind of, I don't really, I get it, but I don't. As Big M said, you have to keep the offense in rhythm week to week. They won't play long. That to me, that doesn't matter. The Ravens are about to have, basically, their starters are going to have 2 weeks off. The 49ers are going to have 2 weeks off. If you're a great offense and you're going, you're like Ben, you should be able to flip that switch.
Sure.
And those teams, it's not even just those teams. Matthew Stafford's taking the week off. There are teams all around the NFL where their quarterbacks, their playmakers, they're all taking the week off to get rest, because what's the most important thing? A Super Bowl winning coach that just won 2 or 3 years ago, Sean McVay, said this last week. He said the most important thing in the playoffs, it's not having in your rhythm, it's not having this or that, it's making sure those guys are healthy, because the main goal is making a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
And that's just my concern.
I think Nick, you got something?
Yeah, just wanted to say, last week we saw it in the NFL. Cardinals travel to Philly. They lose as 11.5-point dogs. Right now, the Commanders are 13.5-point dogs to the Cowboys. That's not too big of a difference. And we've seen the Eagles spiraling. They play at New York, who have something to prove. I'm just saying it's not impossible. We need to take care of business in our home. We have to defend the den against Minnesota and put the pressure on these boys.
I agree. You have to win this football game, but at the same time, you do have to take care of your football team. Win the game and do it at the same time. There's got to be a balance. I think that's going to be my word of the day, because there's a couple segments too throughout the show that I'm going to say balance a couple times. You have to find a balance with that. You have to be very smart, and I think Dan knows that. But at the same time, yes, you do have to win, because there is that outside chance you get a 2 seed. But the balance of it, making sure, hey, let's win this game, but let's not hurt anyone.
Yeah, I do like that word, and what I'm about to say, although it's the opposite of balance, think of it as separate. But I do believe that if you're going to commit to playing everybody, I think the defense needs to play regardless. I think they're young enough, they're inexperienced enough. They need the more work they can get on a guy like Justin Jefferson, on whether it's Nick Mullins or I don't believe Jaron Hall's starting anymore. Maybe Josh. Like any work that defense can continue to get, any experience. We talk about guys like Jack Campbell just getting reps, getting his time out on the field. I think that's important. Guys like the offensive line, the veterans. That's where, all right, if it's getting a little shaky, or if you make the decision he's knee's a little questionable, you pull him. I'm not worried about the veterans as much. I'm not worried about the offense as much. It's that defense. They're hitting their stride right now.
Yeah.
Last thing I would want to do is to end that. Plus, with the new guys coming in, they got to figure out how to all play together, and this is 1 week to do that.
So that's going to be the biggest thing too. Is you're going to have a lot of new guys out there. Let's go to break. When we come back, we're just going to move this segment down a little bit too, because of the Pro Bowl stuff. I want to go over. Aleem McNeil spoke with the media today. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and those guys were back on the field. And those guys are going to be fresh and ready to go. So we're going to talk about those guys a little bit.
So clean.
Before we get going here. So let me tell you guys real quick, Lions pregame show. Make sure you guys tune into that, the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show. Jeff Frady this week, as well as Braylon Edwards and myself. That is this Sunday, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. You don't want to miss out on that. We'll be breaking down the full game, going over everything, injury report, anything you guys need, matchups. We're going to be talking about it on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. And then, when you guys get done, a little pregame meal for the Lions game, go to Big Boy. It is wintertime in Detroit, and it is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. And if you want some breakfast, they have the stuffed potato pancakes, the classic lumberjack or Santa Fe Garden, and they also have the new apple pie hotcakes. They are too good to miss. And you can top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Make sure you stop over by your local Big Boy today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? you expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did with Les Stanford Buick GMC. It's the same great service that they offer that customers have come to know, trust, and love. Located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Also, you can find them in Dearborn at their flagship dealership. So, find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys. Lock it in. Wednesday night, couple days away from game day here, Lions, Vikings. A lot of news coming out. Make sure if you guys can hit that like button. I'm struggling talking over here. My voice is starting to go. It was good all day. Rested it all day. Get going. Voice is gone already. I have to stop yelling. I need to learn how to not yell, fellas. If you guys didn't hear, Amon-Ra St. Brown snubbed out of the Pro Bowl. Lions released their Pro Bowl, or the NFL releases the Lions Pro Bowl starters and alternates. You guys can check that out on the Woodward Sports Twitter page. It is listed on there now. Make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Broder, let's just keep this little injury situation going. Ali McNeil will be back. He spoke to you, the media. You were there today. I thought it was interesting what he said, kind of being a little fresher. And he did mention, and you guys will see in this video here, he came out and mentioned that he feels fresh, just like he's coming out of training camp. Like his body, he got sleep, he was able to get rest, and everything feels right again. I think that's an advantage for the Lions on the defensive line there. So here's Ali McNeil speaking about that.
Do you feel rested and recharged going into the playoffs?
Yes, 100%. I've just been sitting for 4 weeks, just lifting and upper body and squatting. And so I really feel like I just came out of an off-season in a way. And so I feel really, really good. Obviously, I still got the knee or whatever, but I don't feel it when I'm in this. So it's kind of a win-win situation to me. But I feel really good, really refreshed. All I've been doing is the first 2 weeks, all I could do was sleep and eat. So I got back my sleep and whatever from those past trips and stuff like that. So I'm good, super good.
All right, Broder, what do you think?
I think
he's ready to roll. I see.
Oh, yeah. You see the excitement and check out the whole video. I don't know if that was Detroit Lions YouTube, but his energy is so it's excited to be back on the field, excited to join the team. He was irritated, and irritated is maybe not the right word, but not being able to be out in the field with them. I think he's so motivated right now and feeling good, which is something especially most defensive linemen, you're not feeling like that in week 18 right before a playoff run. So yes, that's huge. And the defense, oddly enough, that run defense has been very strong in his absence. So this is just one more little this is a huge addition. One more of those to add to the other guys.
I'm interested to see guys like him and CJ and Houston come back. They're all going to go. I don't
know if Houston's going to go.
It seemed like that was a go.
It seemed like he was the one questionable. Like they want him to go and they were hiding the most in. Like Dane Campbell asking about CD Deuce and Ali McNeil is like, they're going to be good. He didn't say they're going to play on Sunday, but he basically said that.
I hope James Houston. I just want to see these guys. It's a perfect opportunity for those guys to go out there and to be honest, just to get as many reps as you want.
Oh, in this game?
If you want to go out and play the full game, just get your feet under you, get a feel for the game, go back and play at a high level. Because it's not like it's preseason to where it's not no, this is regular season still. You have a chance to do that. If CJ Gardner-Johnson feels like he can go play 80% of the snaps, I would be like, go ahead. If you're back, you're healthy, you're good. Get your feet under you, get ready for next week. Ali McNeil, if you need to do that, go get your snaps. If James Houston, he had an extra week because I'm pretty sure last week was that projected week, and then now he's got an extra. And if you're saying he might be questionable, if he's in, let that man just rush. Go at Nick Mullins. Go get a feel for it. We saw how many sacks did we have on Nick Mullins a couple weeks ago. Interceptions. Just go get to Nick Mullins.
Same with CD Deuce. Those two guys. This is a perfect game for them. It's the I don't want to say the easiest game is in the easiest team, but you got a pocket passer who throws the ball who just chucks it up in the air. He's a gunslinger. That's perfect for James Houston. No, you know where your target is. He's not moving. And then for CD Deuce, Mr. Ballhawk, and the rest of that defense like Iffy and Kirby, everyone's playing well out there. So it would be good to have him back. Don't get me wrong.
KG, there was a video in there of practice. Did you have that in there yet?
I believe so.
Could you whenever you can, if you want to play that? I think it's about a 10-second clip, Broder, I think. And it's basically, I think it's CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Should be CD Deuce, Stephen Gilmore, and James Houston.
And these are the guys back. And if you guys do notice something in this video, The retro helmets are back Sunday.
Hey!
The retro helmets are back Sunday.
Gray Unis retro helmet.
Yep, here's that video there of the fellas practicing.
All right, we're going to loop this again. That was Stephen Gilmore. Here we go. James Houston, number 41. Explosive West Coast. This is CD Deuce. They're just doing safety drills, going to get the ball up in the air in this last one. Here we go. Stephen Gilmore. Who's he covering? Khalil Dorsey? Yeah. Just going through their individual warm-ups. It's just so good to see those guys out in the field. James Houston especially. There was a clip, and I know some people on Twitter saw it. We had a Lee McNeil in the middle. There was part of it that the Lions wanted us to pull down. No, yeah, it was a I don't think there was much to it, but there was a certain part to the drill that they decided after the fact, hey, we just want to be safer than sorry. But Lee McNeil was out there. He looks good. He has a knee brace on, but it's a knee brace, he said, doesn't affect him at all. A couple plays in, he doesn't even realize he's wearing it.
That James Houston smacking that sled. Holy cow. You could hear that come across the screen. I can't wait to hear that. But I don't know if he'll be smacking many offensive tackles because he'll be blowing past them.
Oh yeah. They're going to try to smack him. All on the floor.
I'm excited to see a lean back. That's like what you said, the brace. He did go on, and there's something I'm going to talk about later in the show that these players keep talking about. And Aleem's someone that mentioned it. A little tease ahead for a couple segments. It's very interesting to me. A lot of these players I'm noticing, and you're in the building. I'm interested to know, and off camera, I want to know if you kind of know. It's a 2-word sentence. Or not even a statement.
Super Bowl.
Nope, not it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's mine.
When we go to commercial, you could try and guess it. I don't want to give it to the people here.
What is this about? Something they mentioned?
Something that every single player so far has mentioned in every single interview, and it pumps me up, and I want you guys to get to it. 2 segments. We'll wait for 2 segments to talk about that.
Ooh.
Not high octane. Come on, Nick.
Talk dirty to me.
Not high octane. Is there anything else though from Allen Park here, just with the injury updates and Dan Campbell that I missed out on here in this segment? I want to make sure we get the people I feel like we're the show of the information because you're in Allen Park all day long.
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, if you guys need to know what's going on with this team, come here to Woodward Nights, and I feel like you have it. Is there anything else?
And feed me. The more questions, the better. It's easier to answer questions than to report. As weird as that sounds,
one
as a
thing
reporter.
actually before we go to break.
Oh, there we go.
I do want to just throw this up. You missed it actually in Allen Park, but Tim Twentyman posted it. KG, there is a new sign in Ford Field. Did you see that in there? Did you see it? Maybe it says something about 2023 NFC North champions.
Oh, yep, got it.
This is a beautiful, beautiful sight. Not at Ford Field, in Allen Park. Broder missed it, by the way.
Well,
I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, Tim Twentyman put it out. And I was like, Broder, can you take a picture of this for me real quick? And you're like, oh, I didn't even see it.
I did. I was running back and forth on this the upper area where we get to stay and trying with Aleem coming back, Houston, and who else are we talking about?
You were locked in.
I was trying to find all those guys get the pics. I don't think about the flag. Like the first time I was in there, I was looking up. You see the banners. There aren't many of them, but
There's
this
a new one.
I wish I saw this. This is epic. This is from Tim Twentyman.
Look, Tim Twentyman.
Courtesy of Tim Twentyman.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
A legend.
Can you imagine going to practice? You see that up there now? That's awesome.
Man. Look how beautiful that is.
Yeah.
First one ever.
Yeah.
First North Division champion.
It was epic. They were irritably focused down there. Like you could probably hear it in Dan Campbell's press conference. Jared Goff. They're ready to go. Like they want blood, and there is something new in Allen Park now.
Something's in the water.
There is an upper level of energy. And the Scotty Montgomery, whenever they post it, it was a really good press conference too. I got a couple questions in, but
I've been waiting for it to see.
The way he describes the relationship of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in that running back room, I think it'll please a lot of you. It'll excite you for the future. That room, they're together. It's kind of like the whole team, but that room, he's talking about that room. They're together. They're supportive. They compete like a mother. It's going to be a fun. How long do we got, Demont? A fun 3 years.
Mothers do
with
compete.
him and Craig Reynolds too, and Jamar Jefferson. Yeah,
I love it. All right, let's go to break. When we come back, question to be said. Morning Woodward Show talked about it today, and I kind of was in the chat going at it a little bit. Kind of as a troll, but I thought it was a great question here from Jeff about Dan Campbell and kind of being maybe too aggressive. I know the heavies touched on it. I feel like it's actually a really good talking point right now, especially heading into the playoffs, and I have a couple questions with it as well. Before that, let me tell you guys real quick, Woodward and Maine.
Wow.
Do not miss out on Woodward and Maine. They'll be going this Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. 8 to 9 a.m. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. You guys do not want to miss listening to him tell his stories and tell you guys about the Detroit Lions. That is on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel this Sunday, 8 a.m.
Yes, and then after that Sunday, open till midnight in Romeo, we got Dispo, and you can start the year lifted, so you can visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals. Experience the dispensary that curates an unbelievable atmosphere with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of product. Come through their stores or order on Dispo Dash today. New year, new deals. Same plug. That's Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. They are your local cannabis plug.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just a place for you. Head over to Hamlin Pub, one of their 7 locations, an experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub, it is the place to be. Make sure you visit the location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. When I do the intro, I can't get it like I want it, you know? The voice just goes, Lions, baby! Lions, baby! I can hit it like 2 times throughout the show here today.
All you need to do is hit it twice.
All right, let's go. Let's get into this. Dan Campbell, if you guys can, hit that like button. If Amon-Ra St. Brown got snubbed, smack the like button. That man deserves to be a starter in the Pro Bowl. And guess what? He better be an all-pro NFL wide receiver this year. He better be. Or I'm going to go protest at the NFL headquarters.
Are they sitting Puka for this last game? Is he one of them?
Potentially.
If he sits, he shouldn't be allowed to go to the Pro Bowl. He's already played one more game than St. Brown, and most of the major stats are bigger. Anyways.
All right, let's get into this. Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell. I want to talk about this. You guys all know the situation that happened in Dallas. Obviously, the flag and all that. We'll move on from that. But the 2-point field goal at the 7-yard line. I was pretty adamant. I think I already mentioned this a couple times on the show. In my mind, I felt as if they should have just kicked the field goal. I want to play this video to start. KG, did you have both of the Aiden Hutchinson ones?
Yeah, I got both of those.
The first one, just the one that it talks about Aiden Hutchinson in regards to kind of the Dan Campbell decision, and he broke it down a little bit. And I think Aiden Hutchinson kind of feels how we all do. So here's Aiden Hutchinson on if he liked the decision from Dan Campbell.
What were you thinking when they went for it 2 times after that? They kept going for it. What were you thinking?
I
Be honest.
declined. I'm going to decline to comment on this. I'm not gonna stir up anything, but I have all the faith in Coach Campbell. He's an aggressive play caller, aggressive decision maker, and I feel like that shows that he has a lot of trust in our guys and what we've got and what we can do. So I'm going to leave that at that. But I think we are.
He told us before. Like he told us we're going for 2.
I love it.
This is before we even get out. I like it. I like it.
Interesting. This is interesting.
So
because
you know how Hutch feels.
He gave
It's
a perfect
obvious.
answer, a very professional answer. But him being on defense, you see Amon-Ra St. Brown's reaction on offense. Penei Sewell also talked to the media
I
today.
have that video as well.
Oh, okay, so
I do have that video as well. The Penei one.
And is it about the decision?
It's about the decision as well.
Can we play that and then compare the two?
Yeah, so Penei as well, like you were saying, he does have the the similar reaction, but he does touch on it. He was asked twice actually about it. So I did have back-to-back questions here with Penei Sewell talking about whether or not he felt he trusted Dan Campbell in that decision to go for it in the 2-point field or the 2-point attempt. So here's Penei on that.
Can you just take us into your mindset?
Yeah. I mean, whatever Dan Campbell calls, we're going to go out there and execute, no matter what it is. And in our book, it's always right.
What's it like to play for a coach who believes in his players and gambles like no one else does in this league?
I mean, if a coach puts all his faith into us, why not, man? That kind of makes yourself play better, and it kind of makes the locker room come together even stronger.
Yeah, there's sides of it. There's different sides of it. Like Aiden Hutchinson obviously is like, I'm not going to comment on it.
He wants the faith. He wants the trust in the defense.
Yes, and those guys, and I think I don't know if it's a trust. I think it's just like at the 7-yard line, like that's. And I get there's. Okay, this is where I'm gonna go with it. There's trust, and then there's just emotion. I think Dan Campbell in that moment, and I'm going to be completely honest with the people here. Dan Campbell in that moment, it was an emotional call. There was all the emotion from missing the or getting the 2-point conversion. There was all the emotion from the flags coming out and all the emotions that he going at the refs. And then it's at the 7, and it felt like it was like I'm going to prove you guys we're going to go get this. They just stepped on our necks. We're going to try and step on theirs. And it was an emotional call from Dan Campbell, in my opinion. Yeah. Because I think any other coach in a moment without all that, and I even think maybe Dan Campbell, in a moment without all that emotion on the road, he would have probably taken a step back and be like, okay, we probably should go. We should probably kick it. And that's what it comes down to me.
Kick it?
Jeff brought up good points this morning. When I was trolling him, going at him, he brought up some good points. The whole, and this is the word again, I'm going to throw it out there again, the balance. You have to find the balance. I don't hate Dan Campbell being aggressive in certain spots, but I hate him being aggressive in certain spots. And it's about finding the balance. And Jeff mentioned gameplay. What type of situation is it? This game, lower scoring game, any point matters. It was the same thing earlier in the game when you could have got a field goal. It's just such a low scoring game. Those are the times that you probably should kick the field goals and just take it and go into a battle after that. And it was the same thing. He brought up the example for Seattle to where that's a high scoring game. And on that one, you kick the field goal instead of going for it in a higher scoring game when Seattle can score at ease. At least on Saturday, you were able to get stops. I think and I'm just going to be honest, Dan, there is a little bit of a concern to me.
For you? All right.
And it's because of this. It's when you get into the playoffs, a guy like that, a call like that, if you get into your emotions and you're not playing smart football and you're not making the right calls, like, hey, let's just kick the field goal here. Let's go for it here. And you don't have that balance, the difference between this Saturday or last Saturday and in 2 weeks is in 2 weeks you don't have another game if you mess that decision up. You're going home. Luckily enough, Dan Campbell made that mistake, the bonehead mistake of going or trying to go for it at the 7. Luckily got the flag, but luckily you still play next week. And luckily you're still in the playoffs.
You don't think in a playoff situation he won't make that call?
But if you do, if you do and you don't get it, you're done.
Yeah, sure.
There's a difference between being like extremely aggressive and being smart aggressive. Like, if there's an aggressive that's going to take you out and your season's over instead of extending the game and keeping your season alive, what do you do? And that's the maturity and that next level, in my opinion, to be a head coach in the NFL, a guy like Bill Belichick, who's been in the league forever. Sean McVay, all these guys who are finding success in the NFL, they are starting to find that balance. They know those decision makings and know, hey, this is when we do. And Dan, it seems like that probably wasn't the right decision to do that at the 7.
I just feel like he knew the stakes. I know in a playoff game, I feel like he wouldn't do that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we say we can feel like that, but we haven't seen it from him yet. We
true.
haven't seen him make that step forward as a head coach. We've seen him improve as a head coach A lot. He lost us a lot of football games in the first 2 years. A handful of games. And he was able to turn that around, and now we've been winning games. Now it's that next step to becoming the elite coach. Like that next level coach. The decision making. The balance. The aggressiveness. When do you use it? When do you not? And I get the players trust him, but and I trust him too. It's just we do need to see that at some point. We need to see the brains of it.
I trust that he learns from his mistakes, and he's going to learn from this. Not necessarily to say if the exact same situation happens again, does he do it different? But I think he can now make that decision more calculated with less emotion. When I said about Hutch wanting the defense to be trusted, what I really meant is, as the defensive player, like he wants the Dallas Cowboys offense out on the field and the defense out there to stop them for the game. Like that's. It's not that I don't think he believes that Dan Campbell doesn't trust them, but then on the offensive side, those guys, they knew they were going to go for 2 from the start. And with Penei Sewell, and he doesn't show a lot of, he's very straight with his emotion. You could sort of feel and hear him like a coach that believes in us and trusts us and wants to push it. Yeah, I'm down with that. So there's something powerful about both sides but you just hope he takes this experience into consideration. We all, I won't say we all. I love Dan Campbell and his aggressiveness. I've agreed with some. I haven't agreed with others. At the end of the day, I'd rather go down with his gambling, and I don't think anyone has to pick a side.
I would not. I'm not going in the playoffs when you have a chance to go. You're making a Super Bowl run. The gambling, like you have a lower % chance of winning. Like extend the football game and give yourself a chance. Because like if that it ends your season completely. Like that call ends your season completely. At least if you kick the field goal, you give a chance to go to overtime and you have a chance to do it. Like it's just so different. I would be very distraught. Like in the NFC Championship game versus the 49ers, if you just have to kick an extra point to force overtime or give yourself a chance and you go for it and you get stopped at the 2-yard line to go to the Super Bowl, I would be like,
I don't think he does that in the playoffs.
But like too. That's the thing is like I don't think he does. But that's all we've seen him do.
I feel it.
We've never seen him make a call in the playoffs.
Exactly. That's my point though. Is he better right now take that step as a head coach?
Yeah, 100%.
And he knows it. I'm guarantee you, like on the flagship station when Jim Costa called him out a little bit. Right after that, he was like, he said, "Call me out," and at the end, he said, "Thank you." He knows it. This isn't a secret. He knows it. He had criticism his first 2 years, but there is zero chance I'm going down fighting with the ship in the NFC Championship game of a mistake like that happening, going for it at the 7-yard line to win the game.
He's not gonna do that again.
You say that he just did it.
Booner, I think
he just did it in front of our eyes.
I think
when he could have extended the football game.
It didn't work out.
Okay, in the playoffs, guess what? Hey, Detroit, all your fans, guess what? Hey, we're in the NFC Championship game, 7-yard line. Hey, just didn't work out. Didn't work out. Sorry, guys.
That never happened. And in the playoffs, you're guaranteed. Both teams are guaranteed to get the ball. So he's not going to do that exact play. But maybe going for it. Maybe going for the 2-point conversion from the 2. Like the first decision, I'm saying. They go for 2 on the 2-yard line. If that doesn't work out, I'm okay with that.
I'm not going full flannel. I'm being very realistic here.
I think the situation is where if he's on the road and he feels like his team is behind the 8 balls, when you see him get more aggressive. And I'm 100% for it. You're in Dallas. You're going for it on the 2-yard line for the 2-point for the win. I agree with it. You're doing a fake punt against KC in the opener at your own 25. I like these decisions when you are against the 8 ball on the road against a perceived better team when you need that extra spark. I 100% agree with Gambler Dan. Going for it on the 7-yard line,
that's the issue.
Totally, you cannot do that.
That's the learning point.
I don't believe that he will. I was going to ask just Broder real quick. Do you agree with the decision to keep going for it?
At the 7.
No, not on the 7.
That's my
I agree with it going
point is the 7.
back to the 3 or the 4. Yeah. I'm okay with that again. I just didn't like the play call.
Yeah.
Can we make it very clear? The original statement I made was at the 7-yard line when he made that decision. That is the dumb move. When you get when you miss it and all of those emotions are flowing, you just say, we're at the 7, take the field goal, move on. In the playoffs, if that happens and he's sitting, same scenario happens and he goes, let's still go for it, what are we doing?
I'm with you.
You haven't matured as a head coach if you go for it at the 7-yard line like that. Maybe he won't do it. Like you said, we haven't seen him in the playoffs. But what we just saw Saturday, it's a cause for concern. And we've seen him lose games in the last 2 or 3 years. That is a very... And Jeff made the statement this morning, and at first I was trolling him about it, like, oh, come on, Jeffrey. And then when you break it down and think about it, it's like, yeah, like, you have to take that next step. And I totally agree. He's a new head coach.
Brand new.
He's still learning. But
that new. Sorry.
But at the end of the day, is when you're in the playoffs, none of that matters. It's either you win or you go home. And if you go for it at the 7 if that happens, just take that step forward. That's all we have to see.
And I believe. So I guess that maybe that's where we got twisted. I believe that he will take that step forward.
I said that to Jeff this morning. I said I believe he can do it
because I feel like
I got emotional there.
You're fine.
Yeah. Pineapple Booner.
There's nothing
relax.
wrong with being emotional. He's grown so much over these 3 years. Like, remember how many dumb calls, how many idiotic emotional calls, and the situation is completely different. You might as well go for it in that first year. Sorry?
Big M in the chat said, Booner, question Dan Campbell's maturity as a head coach. I am the biggest Dan Campbell fan and supporter probably at this network when it comes down to it.
It's valid, though.
It's just,
very valid.
When Jeff brought that point up, and Jim Costa brought it up to Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell said to him, "Thank you." Yes, I know. Like that is the thing. Like he gets it as well. This is not me going at Dan Campbell maturing as a head. He's still a third year in the NFL. He's a first-time head coach. There's going to be issues. He's still growing. This is part of it. I want to see him make that next step, and I think he will in the playoffs.
I definitely do.
But there is that I'm going to keep using this word. I just want Dan to find balance between the aggressiveness and being smart. Once you find that balance as a head coach, especially with the aggressive side that he has, you win a lot of coaching battles, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Facts. I'm going to tell you about Jack Labrador. Speaking of battles, speaking of little 3-roll battles, yeah, well, RIP to the same old Lions. RIP to bad decisions. Big thanks to Sheila Brad and Dan Campbell for putting them to rest. And guess what else had found the grave? It's the same old rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador has revolutionized the tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Sounds like Steph Curry. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why. Once you go Jack, you never go back.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Insurance! You got football on the brain. You got playoffs on the brain. Well, now is the time where the Lions are going to make the playoffs. It's also the time for you to check out Swiss Insurance and buy some home and auto insurance. Maybe bundle it all into one. They cover us here at Woodward Sports, so they should be covering you too. So shop it like a pro with Mark from Swiss Insurance. Find him at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. Yup.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Great show so far. I'm having a blast. So all of you people in the chat that are saying, and all of you that are giving into Easy in the chat, all of you are giving into him, and you're becoming a troll like Easy, saying that Booner doesn't want Dan Campbell here. Don't forget, I'm the biggest Dan Campbell fan there is. Who did Dan Campbell talk about the beer with? That is my guy until we die. I was thinking this today, actually. I don't think I can ever see Dan Campbell coaching at another NFL team. I was watching the press conference today with the grit hat, and then watching some of it from the other day.
That's a really good point.
I don't know. I can't imagine him having like another. I know we've seen him in the Saints and Dolphins. I'm just picturing in my head him as a head coach after Detroit. That man might be here forever.
You know, sometimes like a perfect fit just kind of happens. And I was thinking about this is a little bit off on a tangent, and I know everyone would love this player in the Honolulu blue and silver, but every time I see Max Crosby and I see him in that Raiders uniform, I see his tattoos and just his.
I would love him in Detroit,
he's
man.
Perfect for the Vegas Raiders.
I want it.
He would be great anywhere, don't get me wrong, but like there's something perfect about Max Crosby on the Raiders. Anyway, Dan Campbell is perfect for the Lions.
He is. Am I good, Nick? All right, we've had a little tech difficulties.
What's happened?
Some tech difficulty. Hey, we're good. Let's get into this, though. We already had this segment before the Pro Bowl stuff came out, and this is a perfect kind of segue to talk about some more Pro Bowl stuff and all of that. But we a couple things here. The Dan Campbell Coach of the Year conversation, that's been a topic around the league and around Woodward Sports by the last 48 hours. And as well as I also put in here players to get any awards from the Detroit Lions. And I'll start the statement off here. I'll do Amon-Ra St. Brown in a second because I have some things on that. The awards, just the awards like Coach of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, all of that. Detroit Lions get 0 awards, correct? I don't think there's a line that will win an award.
Dan Campbell should win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he's like -7, or Stefanski's minus like 7,000
I've taken a step
right
back
now.
on it.
And also,
that's fine. I still think he should.
Well, I won't get into it right
Nick,
this second.
what do you have about that?
Yeah, about that, I think that is a big deal with the gambling props before the season. Who was the most bet coach?
Dan
Campbell.
Yeah,
Who was the most
fair.
money on?
Dan Campbell.
Who got hoed in Dallas?
Dan Campbell.
Yes, 13-4 compared to 11-6, or you know what it is. 11-4, number 2 seed Dan Campbell wins that award. God, follow the money.
And you can't argue that the success of this team is tied to their coaching.
Yes.
It's tied to Dan Campbell. Every video we watch, every clip, everything. That Dallas game, they won it because of Dan Campbell. They lost, but they won it because of Dan Campbell.
Exactly.
Like, he makes some bad decisions, but they are 11-5. Should be 12-4.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if he's not going to win, I think John Harbaugh should win it.
So I said that as well, but then I started looking at this Stefanski thing, and this was an argument I got in this morning with Easy, another Easy argument that I have. Shout out, he's in the chat. But I didn't think Stefanski should be as big of a favorite. Then I started doing my research. I started looking things up, and I said John Harbaugh. That was actually a text I sent, said John Harbaugh. He had Mark Andrews go down, but head to head, Kevin Stefanski, he went on the road and beat John Harbaugh. He beat the San Francisco 49ers with the worst team. He hasn't had a quarterback all year. He's had a good defense in Jim Schwartz, yeah, but they've struggled like on offense. They've gone through quarterbacks like, I don't know what that saying is, but they've just gone through quarterbacks. The fact that they have 11 wins, they beat the Ravens, they beat the 49ers. Almost every single win they have, I think except 2 wins or 3 wins, are all from teams over 500. And they've beaten every good team they've played, and they've beaten a lot of playoff teams. And at the same time right now, I don't think, and Broder, you put them on your list yesterday for Super Bowl contenders. Mm-hmm. The fact the Browns right now are Super Bowl contenders with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I know their defense is great, but with Joe Flacco's and they beat the top 2 teams in the NFL, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. They have the same record as the Detroit Lions. We could say a lot of ifs. Yes, they should be 12. They should have 12 wins, a potential 13. Browns still have the same record as the Lions with Joe Flacco, and he might be good. Yes, he's old. And that offense, you guys know they've been rotating through quarterbacks. The Kevin Stefanski thing, I was going to...
Third. He should be third.
I was going to the end of the earth with it. He should win the award.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Ravens
Kevin Stefanski should win the award.
He should be third, in my opinion, but I'm not going to... He should be in the mix, absolutely. And if he wins it, okay. I think it should be... What?
Who you got second?
I think it should be Campbell, Harbaugh, Stefanski.
Okay.
If it's not Campbell, I think it should be Harbaugh, Campbell, Stefanski. But Stefanski is at number 3. The Ravens have also beaten the Browns. They've also beaten the 49ers. They beat Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow. They beat the Lions. They beat the Rams when they were playing well. They did all this. How many running backs have there? J.K. Dobbins is out.
John Harbaugh does have the MVP on his team this year.
he wins the MVP because of what they've gotten, because of what they've gotten through. That defense does not even compare to the San Francisco 49ers defense, yet they dominated the 49ers. That defense is the best defense in the NFL. They don't have the names. That's put together because of their coaching staff. Also, Mike McDonald, I didn't even think about that. He should probably win DC of the year. But that job as coach, they played 3 games in a row in England or whatever, had to come back and beat the Red Hot Lions on like 4 days rest. Lamar Jackson, they had a concerted effort at the beginning of the season to stick with him in the pocket, to work through some troubles with the receiving corps and drops, and making sure that the MVP stays healthy, stays in the pocket. That's a coaching thing. That's all John Harbaugh, and they succeeded at it. Stefanski should 100% be in the conversation. Dan Campbell should too. But John Harbaugh, I think his name should be mentioned more.
I think his name should be mentioned. That was a text that I sent today, was John Harbaugh should be mentioned. But then when I just broke it down, the worst team, the way people explain it, like if you'd say who's had the worst team and still has 11 wins, it's definitely Stefanski. By far, like he has the worst
Chubb
team.
going down early,
and I truly understand like the Dan Campbell argument, but at the end of the day, Dan Campbell's decision on Saturday, you could say, and I know they won the game, like I do, but that 7-yard line, not kick the field goal, that as well lost the game. Like I get all of that. The John Harbaugh thing, he has the MVP on his team. Like the 11-win Browns that lost their best player, and they've gone through 5 different quarterbacks. And they're 11 wins, and they're in the Super Bowl contention, the conversation. I don't get it. I think you have to give him.
Yeah, this is tinfoil hat for me right here, but this is the first time gambling's actually legalized, and we know how much money was on Dan Campbell to win that award.
Gambling's been legalized for like 3 years.
And that flag gets picked up, but not the size that it is now. It's literally on every single commercial that you see on the NFL. It's insane. But them to pick up that flag, I think they're in cahoots, honestly.
Nicholas.
I think they was.
Nicholas, you're telling me
that they were in cahoots.
No. You're telling me the Detroit Lions, the NFL called to them. They didn't just say, they didn't say anything about the seeding.
Straight out of Buffalo Wild Wings commercial.
They didn't say anything about the seeding. They said, hey, fellas, Vegas is... Roger Goodell's like, hey, Vegas is calling this right now. They said that we have to throw a flag for the Cowboys because Dan Campbell has so much money on the Coach of the Year conversation.
There was something.
Come on.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yes, exactly. They saved more than
you can convince me more on that. You can convince me more of that on the seating. You can convince me more on that with the seating.
Yeah, I don't.
You can't
it just
convince
pisses
me
me
that
off. I mean, I just thought about all the gambling.
Flag is because of the Coach of the Year conversation.
I thought about all the slips on Dan Campbell. Like that was into it.
And if you want to turn it around, I do think that flag cost him the Coach of the Year award. Like
Agreed.
that call.
Agreed.
Yeah,
if he has 12 wins, it's a different story.
What did I say 2 months ago? I said if the Detroit Lions get to 13 wins, he is a lock for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And guess what? If they would have won Dallas, they're at 12. Win this week, 13, he wins Coach of the Year. That was the change of it, which it's fine. Like I can admit, but now I can take a step forward and say Dan shouldn't win it. And this morning, I was all saying it was Dan. When you break it down and look at it, Saturday screwed him up.
I also think it cost Jared Goff MVP votes.
Potentially.
Votes.
Yes.
Not the MVP award, just a vote or two.
The flag did?
What? Yeah.
I don't think the flag did.
If they're a 12 or 13 win team,
the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, it's the 2
that's okay. If they're a 13 win team, he still gets a vote. 100%.
What did I say last week? He has to go into Dallas and he has to put up numbers. He did not do that.
Yeah, and he still got one more game, and he would need 13. He would need 13 wins, and he would need another good game in Minnesota. So that is farther away than Coach Campbell. That's a more of a stretch.
Broder.
Coach Campbell would have won the award. What?
I love you a lot.
Yeah,
what, the 13-win Lions quarterback?
They would have won that game, and he had 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
He had 1 touchdown.
One touchdown and 2 interceptions. His name would not have been in the MVP count. He needed to go out there and throw for 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then it's MVP.
And he would need to perform in Minnesota.
But the flag didn't do it because he just didn't do that on Saturday.
The 2 picks sank him.
I'm saying a vote or 2. Sorry, go ahead.
No, the 2 picks sank him. Maybe if Decker reported, quote, quote, then maybe Jared Goff gets those votes. But yeah, the 2 picks absolutely did him in.
Hey.
Yeah, I do want to talk about this real quick. I promised we would touch back on this. The Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just put a tweet out actually.
Oh, speaking of, Coach Campbell, of those 3, have the least amount of Pro Bowlers on his team. The Browns have 6, and the Ravens have 7.
No, with
Lions
the
at
Lions
5. Yeah.
Come on.
What? You're going to say he's got the MVP?
Come on. All right.
I'm just giving you
Can
another
we do this?
piece.
Can we talk about the Amon-Ra St. Brown snub real quick?
Yeah, he was snubbed. The motherfucker got snubbed so bad. Puka Nacua, are you kidding me?
Again.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Say it one more time.
No. I don't just swear to swear. If it comes out, it comes out.
Oh.
It's all au naturel.
Can we talk about this? Can I go single cam real quick?
Let me talk to you.
I want to talk to the
shut up
people.
now.
I want to talk to the people of Detroit.
Uh-oh.
This might, and I'm not saying this is a good thing for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, though, getting snubbed as a Pro Bowl starter, it's a disgrace to the whole to the NFL. The Pro Bowl, it's a joke at this point. Just look at his stats, fellas. Amon-Ra St. Brown, almost 1,400 yards, 5th in the NFL. 112 receptions, 3rd in the NFL. 91.4 yards per game, 5th in the NFL. And 9 touchdowns, 5th out of all wide receivers. He is top 5 in every wide receiver category. And he's not even top 6 to go to the Pro Bowl. I think it's disrespectful, one, to him, to the city of Detroit, again, and to this whole fan base, because Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best in the NFL right now at his position. He is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, and it is disrespectful for a guy like him to have to sit at home during the Pro Bowl and watch other guys who he's better than and has had a better season than go out there and enjoy the Pro Bowl and do that. And you know what the best part about it is, fellas? I told you guys this during the break. What did he do during his NFL draft? He knows every single player that drafted in front of him. This right now is the best thing for Amon-Ra. He is going to be very, very motivated going forward. This man in the playoffs is going to he's going to be a problem in the playoffs this year. This is a guy, like I'm telling you guys right now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be an issue come in the wild card weekend. And after that, he is going to put numbers up, and he is going to prove that he is one of the best in the league at what he does. Because at the end of the day, if he's not an all-pro player after this just came out, whoever's in the chat, right, we will go to the NFL headquarters and protest. Because the disrespect, it's just like Terry Foster said earlier today. At some point, Sheila Hamp has to go to the NFL and Roger Goodell and sit down and say enough is enough with the Detroit respect. Start putting some respect on Detroit and the Lions name in general. Because we're here to make some noise. Amon-Ra St. Brown being top 5 in every single wide receiver category and not being a Pro Bowler is just utter disrespect. Flat out, that is it. I'm done with that, though. And he is still my friend because he posted me.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Anyone
You
else
just got
have
Amon-Ra
anything
St.
for that?
Brown.
Preach.
I just wanted to let the people know. If he's not an all-pro player, we're going to the NFL headquarters.
I saw it in the chat. I'm sorry, it's already at the top, though. It's okay because he'll be in the other bowl. I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
That's the motivation that I like to see, because you know what? I would love to see what he's doing right now and see that, like, when he found out he wasn't a Pro Bowler, I would have loved to see the look on his face. All right. That's all I needed. Like, all I needed to hear.
True that.
I'm ready to go.
Real quick, I know we're hitting break. Real quick. Red Wings, big win last night. Shout out the away fan.
I thought you were
Wangs.
For a second, I thought you were just randomly throwing that in there, but shout out the away fan, though. Legend. All right, let's hit break. When we come back, sorry about my rant, guys. When we come,
this is
a safe space.
Safe space, it is. It's our trust circle. When we come back, we're going to get into some Aiden Hutchinson stuff here. Not really just Aiden Hutchinson, but the whole team, kind of motivation going forward. It's kind of perfect, actually, just talking about St. Brown and that. But these guys are motivated than ever to kind of prove a point here. Let me tell you guys, Lions Post Game Show, Woodward Sports. Make sure you guys tune in. That is Tom Mazaway, Sam Stick Day. You guys want to tune in directly after every Lions game. Get everyone's initial reaction after the game. Callers, Kool-Aid, everything you need. Tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then, look at that. Great transition, KG.
Got you.
Planet Fitness, baby. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workouts in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. And get all of that for just $10 a month. No commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands throughout the world.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they're hands down Michigan's best pet store. They have the same great prices and all the convenience of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years. That's locally owned and operated in Michigan. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. They got same day, local, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Wednesday night, Pro Bowlers got released. Couple snubs. Shout out to the fellas who made it, though. Appreciate all of you guys always. Who was it? Jern made it. Aiden Hutchinson, Panay Sewell. Who am I missing here?
Ragnow?
Frank Ragnow. There was 5.
You say Hutch?
Hutch, yep.
Hutch.
Ragnow, Sewell.
Laporta, baby!
Sam Laporta, the rookie!
Sammy Laporta.
Tight end. One of the best. You know what that actually helped? You know what actually I think really is, that's a little eye-opening? He may be an all-pro player. He's top 4 at least at his position, right?
Does he have better stats than Kittle?
You just need to be better than 2 of those guys. It's either Kittle, Njoku, or who was the other one?
Kelsey.
Or Kelsey. There's a chance.
Feel like they're going to give it to Kelsey.
There's a chance. Maybe
all we know is very, very soon, we're going to have the best tight end in the NFL on the Detroit Lions.
Very, very soon. Make sure, you guys, if you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. I do not know what we are at. We're at 883. Let's get up to 125 here before the end of the next segment. Everyone that's watching, hit the like button for us. I wanted to get into this, Broder. Aiden Hutchinson was on the 33rd team, the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast with him and his brother, and they spoke about kind of the play that happened and got called back, and Hutch kind of broke it down a little bit. They asked him to break it down, and he gave, I feel like me and you spoke about this on Tuesday as well, or yesterday when we reacted to it, and Monday I had this conversation with you about how this, and I text you right away, I said, or I text Easy and you right away, like, I think this might be that, like, turning moment. Like, you see these Super Bowl teams, you see these different storylines with teams, and the word that I was telling you guys earlier that I kept hearing a lot of people use and a lot of players use in their interviews today, 2 words, is every single time some of these players are talking about the playoffs, they never mention the word playoffs. Every time I've heard them talk about the postseason, all they say is Super Bowl. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. They don't say, I want to be ready for the playoffs. I want to be ready for this. I can't wait for the playoffs. We're going to do this in the playoffs. They just keep saying, and you're at the building, so you probably heard it a lot today. Aleem McNeil said it. He was just like, hey, I'm just ready to be back for to go chase a Super Bowl. I think Jared Goff may have, different guys were saying it throughout the day today. Aiden Hutchinson's been a guy that said it. Like, these guys, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's mentioned it. These guys are not, and if you guys really like, and you guys, a couple weeks ago, a lot of people on this network were calling me crazy for saying that the Super Bowl was that conversation. And now the Booner Path has blossomed. Everyone in the chat, if you're a part of the Booner Path, drop it in there, because that's exactly what all these players right now are thinking in their head. All they're thinking is Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Listen to this Aiden Hutchinson clip, guys, on the St. Brown podcast, and just Tell me this doesn't make you just pump you up.
No, that's tough though. But I really do believe that this is like some destiny stuff, because when I was a senior at Michigan, we lost to Michigan State. We were undefeated. It was like a top 10 matchup. We lost to Michigan State, and it was kind of one of those bullshitty games where it kind of gets away from you. And
I watched that game. That's when Kenneth Walker went crazy.
He went crazy, and I scored a touchdown on the other DN got the strip sack, and that would have made it like a 3 or 4 possession game, and they overturned it. And then after that momentum, it kind of snowballed. But that was one of those things that I think if that game hadn't happened, that wouldn't have propelled us the rest of the season, even beating Ohio State, like winning the Big Ten championship that year. Like, I don't think any of that would have happened. So that's why I kind of like correlate that with this, because this is one of those things where it's like, it was a stupid call. It is what it is. But like, I think this is only going to motivate us, and especially, as we move into the playoffs and, if we advance and we play Dallas again at their place, I just feel like, we have, there's so much confidence knowing that, we should have won that game. And, I just want
to run through a brick wall.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a destiny thing though. It's like,
God,
I feel like this,
I'm ready.
it's written in the stars. But.
Broder, I'm telling you, those guys right there, the way they're talking, Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother sitting there like grinning as a joke.
Great hat, by the way.
Those two guys, yeah, sweet hat. But those two guys are not. Those two guys are not playing around. Like when Hutch is going off on that tangent, like he is dead serious. Like I'm taking this to heart, taking this seriously. Amon-Ra St. Brown at the end's like, I want to run through a brick wall right now. Like Dan Campbell has these guys wired just absolutely differently, and and those are guys too that Brad Holmes brought them in because he knew they were wired this way.
Yeah,
they're ready for a battle in the playoff. I cannot wait. And I think they can make a run at it. I think this was that turning point, and like you see like a 30 for 30 in about 30 years, and you see kind of the storyline and that Cowboys call in that game, and then they go on a run to go win a Super Bowl. That is the storyline I picked. This might be what do they call me?
A movie?
Slappy Booner?
Homer.
This might be a Slappy Booner thinking that, but that's just how I take all of this.
Amon-Ra St. Brown made those comments before he was snubbed too. Like if he could run through a brick wall, I wonder what type of wall he could run through now. But the story it's eerily similar to what just happened. Like in terms of that strip sack fumble. I'm not gonna go all the way back in time and say it was kind of BS, but it's maybe slightly BS. But they use that as motivation. That is one of the turning points of Michigan football. It wasn't immediate, but that's when Aiden Hutchinson was part of that part of the program shifting and changing and becoming a consistently dominant or consistently winning team. That's huge. That's huge. That's what I was going to say. Just a fan said Lions should sign Amon-Ra to a big contract right now. How dope would that be if he gets snubbed from the Pro Bowl? And I don't think they're going to do this right now. They're going to wait till after the season. Yeah. But he gets snubbed, and they send a message to the NFL: "You guys messed up. This is a Pro Bowler."
Yeah. He is a pro. I would not. Again, I would not be surprised if he's not an All-Pro player.
He should
at the end of this year. I just think this team as a whole right now. Like I saw the Aleem McNeil full interview. He mentioned Super Bowl, and like these guys, they're taking this Dallas thing seriously, and guys coming back too, like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You're not questioning him. You know he's ready. Remember, I did a
Super Bowl last year.
We did a reel like 3 months ago right before he got hurt about how I literally remember I said the Detroit Lions need to go take him and re-sign him right now. I'll spend my own money on it to re-sign him because the attitude he has, what he brings to this team when they come in the playoffs, it's all for C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. But in the playoffs, like, he's only been on winning teams. He knows what it takes. These guys coming back, they're just going to contribute to it that much more, man. Like. Nick, you had something?
Yeah, speaking about that path, I think
Which path?
Your path.
The Booner path.
The Booner path. I think the Booner path is still alive to possibly get a second home game. It's not in our own hands, but I think the Rams could possibly get an upset in Dallas. I'm just going to go out there and say that right now.
I think they could get upset
and that
Dallas
would make our
Philly.
Super Bowl path a lot easier if we can get that second home game. I know everybody's talking about the upcoming matchup, Lions versus Dallas, if they both take care of business, but I could see that path to the Super Bowl. And you can hear it in the way these guys talk, the tone of their voice. They are ready. They are determined to do this. And you don't have a better guy in leading them in Dan Campbell. So let's do it.
All right, let's hit break. When we come back, I have a question for the people. And this is like a Booner path, like not a vision. What is it called? Like a
night terror?
Like
foreshadowing?
Not foreshadowing. No.
What dream?
It's like a nightmare. It's like a nightmare, but like a doomsday.
Hey, I'm not judging.
Scenario.
I just like to shoot straight.
This is a Booner bath.
Like Final Destination. You have
yes,
a vision.
A vision. This is, but it's not. It doesn't come true though. This is a Booner path doomsday scenario. I have a question for the people. I want to know the answer if certain things kind of go down in a certain way. When we come back, what do we have here?
Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. Ooh, I love talking about a great defense. That is Guardian Alarm. They have customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. They have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can give them a call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they will stay on the phone as long as needed. They have technology that is backed by people, where your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work. People have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with KG's favorite beef. They got prime beef, they got dry-aged beef, and they have Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods or go online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, welcome back in. Look at that background. Looks
that
beautiful.
premier background. Clean.
That's crazy, man. That's the first time I've seen it. That is a beautiful background.
Be good to the pets, man.
Yeah, shout out to pets, man. Welcome back, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder, though, on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. A little Wednesday night here action. We've had a couple breaking news with the Pro Bowl. All the guys that got congratulations, first of all.
Yeah.
To all those guys. Some of them are a couple first-timers, I believe.
Except for Puka. Are you talking congratulations to the Lions?
The Detroit Lions. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
A couple first-timers. Sam Laporta, Germ, I believe, is a first-timer. I think the other guys. Hutch, first-timer, yes. I can't believe last year he wasn't just an alternative. He had 9.5 sacks last year.
He had the 3 picks last year, too.
And the 3 picks, yeah. He should have been, wow.
He's had an historic first
maybe
two
he
seasons.
Maybe he was. He just didn't get selected because they didn't have anyone. Because that could happen.
Historic first 2 seasons. If we're going by stats, I mean, there's...
No, he has. No. And you know what? That was a conversation, too, this morning, the morning show. They were going off. And you know, obviously, Sam's a pretty, big Hutch guy. And he was kind of defending him a bit. And I did kind of agree with him on the sense of, like, Max Crosby. And I did say, I typed in there, I said Hutch is elite. He's on his way to being elite. elite. He's not like the Myles Garrett's, the Aaron. Like he's not that like TJ Watt yet. That's elite. He's like next level down. But those guys, what year are they in? Year 6, year 7, year 8. Max Crosby's the one that everyone keeps comparing him to. He's just in year 5 now.
Yeah.
And Hutch is in year 2. Back-to-back 9.5 sack seasons, leading the league in pressures and quarterback
Had
hits.
a pick this year, too.
Had a pick this year. I think
his team.
He might have 2. Does he just have
No,
one?
I think he just had the one.
A couple forced
where
fumbles.
He got hit in the hip.
Ended a football game with a sack, fumble sack. Like, I mean, that man's he is getting to the elite level. I want to do this Booner question of the day. You guys know when I come with the Booner question of the day, it's always fire. I was thinking about this earlier today. All I do in my spare time, when I think about this stuff, all I think about what is going on with the Booner path. Where are doomsday scenarios? Where does this exit? You guys, all your guys' jobs to do is just follow the path. My job is to lead the path, be on the front line, make sure, hey, if there's a scenario, I have to have a plan for the people. We have to make sure we're safe, right? Like, I break all that down. That is my job. You guys just follow me. But today it popped in my head, and I wanted to know where all the people stood on this. Because it was a conversation that was had a couple months ago with a lot of different folks in the business.
Folks.
If the Detroit Lions, wild card game next Sunday, and they drop that game, whether it's Rams, Vikings, or Packers, whatever it is, are we all going to look in on the Booner path? I'm going to tell you guys what the Booner path answer is. But around the room and in the chat, is it considered an unsuccessful season if you lose week one of the playoffs? Because the Booner path answer, a very unsuccessful season if you do not win next week in the playoffs. And I understand this year was the year to get the division. That was this year. But where the Detroit Lions stand right now, where this whole path, everywhere we're going, you went from fighting for the division to where this year you dominated the division, and now you're in a contending spot like that. Things happen very, very quick. If the Detroit Lions don't win a playoff game, that is going to be an issue in my hands. Like, I'm going to believe that. And on the Booner path, we will put signs up and we will start to question a few things. Because guess what losing the first round is? That same old Lions.
Yes, sir.
The same old Lions lost in week 1 of the playoffs.
Talk to him.
That's what Matthew Stafford did. That's what the last regimes did. We've been talking brand new Lions all year long. Since Green Bay last year, we've been all over the BNL brand new Lions train. The brand new Lions do not lose in the playoffs in the first round. Next week, you go get that first playoff win that we've all been waiting for in Ford Field. And if they don't, it is a very, very unsuccessful season, in my opinion, and for the whole Booner path. And we're going to go off if that happens. You have to go win next week, or the whole season's unsuccessful. Now, I will say this though: winning the first division in 30 years is a big deal. That is huge.
Absolutely.
But where your team stands right now, you're past that point, man. You're a contender. You're past that point. You're not just a team that just fought like you're not the Bucks right now. You're not the Saints. You're not the Falcons who are fighting for their division, and they're going to one of those teams are going to win their division, and they're just going to get beat in the first round. That's not you. I'll go around the room. I want to see if you guys think if there's anyone. I feel like everyone's going to say unsuccessful, but if there's anyone that says successful, I'll be a little shocked.
See what Broder says. I think he'd be.
I really enjoy your word choice with this because I do believe it's an unsuccessful season if the Lions lose their first round playoff game. That's at home. If they have the 2 or the 3 seed, you got to go and win that game. If you use the word failure, I'd have to think about it a little more because I think winning the NFC North just takes the word failure, I think, out of it for me. But it would be a huge disappointment if they lost that first round game. It would be an unsuccessful season. That is their goal. You know, it's not a failure for the organization because they won that NFC North title, but it would be an unsuccessful season. You got to go win that first round game. It's not, there's too much riding on it. It's unacceptable to be the favorite, especially considering the teams that you might be playing. You have to.
Yeah.
Have to.
KG?
Broder, I think it is a failure if they don't pull this thing out. Because when you look at it, the division and the playoff win was like a package deal. You win the division to get that home playoff game. Now, if they were on the road in the first round, then I might give them a little grace. Okay, they got to 12 wins this year. They won the division. They got to 12 wins and then they lost on the road. But that's a package deal. So you got to come. It's no excuses. You got a home playoff game. Crowd's going to be on your side. I don't care who comes in there. The Lions are the better team, just hands down.
And
so it's a failure if they don't get it.
On top of it, yeah, you are home. It's not like the old playoff teams where you're on the road the whole. Like you're playing in Ford Field, like that. Like it makes it that much worse if you lose at home because you had that crowd behind you.
And speaking of that crowd, Boone, that's where I'm going to go with this one. If they lose, I'm in attendance that game. You guys know that. I have season tickets. I wouldn't miss this game for the effing world. If they lose, Ford Field's burning down. The city of Detroit will burn.
Yeah.
It is not happening. It would be an utter failure.
Yeah.
Completely unsuccessful season. Like KG said, this was a package deal. You win the division, and you win your first playoff game in Ford Field's history. There's no way this happens, and this will be the last time I'm putting a hex on it that is never going to be speaking about again on the show, because it cannot happen for this city, and it won't happen. Let's go Lions,
what's the point
baby.
of winning the division if you're
going to lose right away?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying that. And the reason I asked the question, too,
it's a great question.
Because within the Booner path, like
I'm sad, though.
The main thing about it,
horrible.
The main thing about the path and kind of this whole new Lions thing is we're moving on from SOL to brand new Lions. Like that is the transition right now that this team and this whole organization, city, and fans we're going through that to become the brand new Lions. And that is that step. Like, and I get so mad all the time, like when Anson comes into these games, and he's been a lot better with it, but when we're doing the watch parties and he comes in and is so negative, like, oh, here we go, same old. It's like, and he's like, it will never go away until you get to a Super Bowl. To me, it's, hey, you just got to go do something. Like, obviously, they haven't won the NFC North ever. You did something that no one's done, right? But the playoff game, the coveted playoff game, that they've been one win away from every single time, 2 times. Like they're right there. And then that coveted home playoff game, if you drop that when it's right there in your hands, and like you're on a 12-win football team, an 11-win football team, and you drop that, you're supposed to be a contender in the NFC.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking, man. And maybe unsuccessful isn't the word because you still won the division.
No, I think it's a great word.
But maybe disappointed or just, I don't know, a couple people.
Unsuccessful to me, that's like right under fail. Like it's basically
bummer.
failure.
I'm seeing a bummer in here.
I'm channeling a little bit of Giannis Antetokounmpo and his failure rant, but it's close.
It's just like, how long have we waited for this playoff game, though?
Yeah.
I mean, the fans,
Exactly.
I feel, as a whole, would view it as a failure. If they come, get that home playoff game, they make all that noise, and they lose. Not to mention if they lose badly. Let's if it's a blowout, I mean, if it's a blowout, it'll be real bad.
And Nick, I'm gonna tell you this too, real quick. I know you said we're not talking about it all next week. These conversations will be had, so you better buckle up. You better throw those straps on, baby, and buckle up, because next week's playoff talk, baby. We're getting playoffs. We're getting into it.
It's gonna be how we can kick the living shit out of the Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads, the Rams, the Hawks. It's gonna be how we are gonna absolutely dominate these teams at home, not the other way around.
This comment, Dave Jaremba. It's not a fire everyone failure. Dave, relax, man. We're so far off even close firing anyone. That is.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's agreeing with you.
I thought he was like. I thought he was. Thinking, I thought maybe he was thinking that we were saying.
No.
And it's like, no, it's a failure, but it's definitely not close to that.
Dave's in agreement.
Shout out, Dave.
Yeah, got your back, Dave.
We got you, Dave.
Also, to be clear, I believe that Same Old Lions is over, even if there are some symptoms that pop up.
I think if they lose,
I think it's done. Come on, this team, this organization's different.
You win the division the first time in 30 years. Yes, Same Old Lions done. Yeah. But to solidify it, because there's still that 60s, 50%. There's more Same Old Lions fans, in my opinion, right now than brand new. Like you're still making that jump right now to really start to solidify it. Once you get the division and 2 a home playoff win or just a playoff win, that's when people start to go, okay, maybe there is something going on here. Maybe Sheila and Dan and Brad are doing something right. Once you get both of those done, that's when I think you have a better chance of convincing people it's over with.
B&L wins this game, though.
I'll convince myself.
I
said B&L wins this game, though.
Oh, yes.
Brand new Lions.
Yes. They do.
All the familiar symptoms of a project.
All right, brother. Tell us who's up.
It's Broder, and it's Mark White.
Mark White.
Are you, Booner, are you dreaming of a new home around this holiday season?
Yeah, baby.
But are you feeling the financial pinch? You don't have to answer that.
No,
Mark
baby.
White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000, 5,000. So call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Just in time for football. Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. So smooth. Find them online at Dispo Dispensary. Check them out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we
Gassy.
are back.
Aggressive.
Woodward Nights. It is gassy and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Gassy and aggressive. The
Okay.
Detroit Lions, baby.
So smooth.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. WoodwardSports.com. Woodward Sports YouTube page, whatever you're watching. Hit that like button for us if you guys haven't already. You guys see it up there in the chat at the very top. Hit the like button if you think Amon-Ra St. Brown got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. So that means if you haven't hit the like button yet, you don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown should be in the Pro Bowl.
We're going to share your usernames with him.
That's a problem.
And he's going to name them all off.
And he will.
We also
and
don't
we
have
can
that
get those to
information.
him as well.
Yeah.
We have that connection.
Hey, I speak a little bit of German. Just a little.
Hit us with something.
Wie geht's?
Oh, nice. You didn't say anything bad, did you?
No, that's just, how's it going? What's
Just
up?
wanna
It's
make
like,
sure you
what's
don't
up?
get canceled, man.
What?
Just want to make sure you don't get canceled.
Eine kleine Titten. Don't ask me what that means.
Sound like you might get canceled from that one.
That might get me canceled.
All right, hey, I wanted to talk about this here and for the people. Sorry, the voice is going woohoo.
Yeah.
The offense, this offense real quick. A couple things I want to talk about before we go to mailbag here in a couple minutes. First thing on this offense, one of the craziest things to me, I think it could potentially be the 8th time ever in the NFL. But the Detroit Lions right now, Broder, have 2 running backs with the chance to crack 1,000 rushing yards. And I think I'm pretty sure it's for the 8th or 9th time ever in the NFL. Wow. Do you think they get it done?
Well, I don't know because DeAndre Swift's a Pro Bowl starter, so I don't know if Jahmyr Gibbs is good enough.
You know what's crazy, though, if you do think about that?
I'm kidding, by the way.
Well, no.
I just want to make sure that it doesn't get clipped out. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is good enough.
Jahmyr Gibbs is the first alternate.
As is the
So
Dirks.
it probably was right ahead of him. Guess who probably it was?
Swift?
It was probably Swift.
Oh, yeah.
like Swift might have been the last one in.
Swift's had a pretty good year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's at. Well, let's see what he's had. He has 1,000. He does have 1,049 rushing yards.
5 touchdowns to Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 or 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at games played though, it's tough.
Honestly,
Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's look at this real quick. Yards per game. DeAndre Swift 65.6. Jahmyr Gibbs 65.4.
That's just rushing yards
yeah,
or total yards?
This is rushing. This is just rushing.
All right, let's check out the total.
Total
because
touchdowns?
I know Swift gets some receiving yards too, but
You do want to take in factor too with the touchdowns is DeAndre Swift does get absolutely screwed when it comes to touchdowns. He
not,
gets
not
to like
Jahmyr Gibbs' fault.
Well, no, it's not. But he does get to the 1 yard line a lot, and then it's just
don't fall down at the one.
Touch push.
Jahmyr Gibbs is on a team with another running back who has 12 touchdowns.
It is ridiculous. Even David Montgomery almost has the same rushing yards as DeAndre Swift, and he has how many more touchdowns? He has 7 more touchdowns.
Honestly, if Dave Montgomery and Gibbs were in the Pro Bowl, that would be okay with me. I know it's not going to happen.
It should.
Right?
So DeAndre Swift has 1,200 total yards. I'm going to do this math on air here for you guys real quick in my head.
Gibbs has 1,231.
Gibbs has 12. It's around the same. I think.
How many
Swift
games
has
has
like
Swift
12,
played?
12. I think Swift has like 1,250 total or 1,260
I
something.
thought you just said 12.
Not 12. I just didn't do that. I just averaged it out. I just,
my bad.
I didn't go exact.
If you want me to pull the numbers for you, I can do that.
If you want to do that, you can. But I think that's impressive, though. And they did talk about today. A lot of questions were actually asked about this 1,000-yard thing. Jahmyr Gibbs talked about it. Jared Goff. Penei Sewell, they asked, hey, what is it like to have 2 running backs potentially do that? It sounded like that they're not going to try and force it, but they're going to let it kind of happen naturally. I took it, and you were in Allen Park today. Correct me if I'm wrong. I took it like their game plan is going to be run the ball with those 2 guys, and if they start to go off, they're just going to keep giving them the ball. That's how I took it. Because they were like, every single person that was asked about it and talked about it, they're like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to force it and just like we're going to try and do that for the game plan and we're going to make sure they get it.
It's tricky.
But if they start going off, they were like, if they start going off, we're going to keep going to them.
Yeah, and I think that is probably what happens. The Minnesota Vikings, they have a top. Actually, I don't know what it's still at, but they had a top 5 run defense 2 weeks ago, so they're got to be in the top 10, right? If they get within reach, Dan Campbell, being a player's coach, he understands this stuff. This is the Andy Reid effect. I know that's a different coaching tree, but what's special about Andy Reid is he knows everything that's going around. He knows when Travis Kelce needs one more catch to hit a pay bonus. He knows everything about these players. So, I mean, this is a stretch. Campbell's the type of guy who, if it was within reach, he would try to get Khalif Raymond, enough touches to get his bonus.
What's his name last year? Like they they knew.
Yeah, and obviously Khalif isn't within range. That's a little aggressive. They'll continue, but
it's a player's coach.
As much as we want our offensive line healthy for the playoffs, also want Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery healthy too. So I don't know if it's all right, we're gonna pound the rock 45 times.
I got it for you, Boone.
Real quick, hold out just a second because I have these stats in my head. Last Minnesota game. Right now, Jahmyr Gibbs needs 85 yards to get to 1,000
rushing.
Last game he had 80 versus Minnesota, so he would have been 5 off. David Montgomery had 55 last time, and I believe he only needs 25.
Wow.
So
Montgomery's going to get it.
Montgomery last time had 55 versus them. He just needs 25 more yards. Jahmyr Gibbs had 80 versus them last time and 15 carries. He just needs 85.
This could be one of those things.
Very possible.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. We haven't seen him break one in a couple weeks, like a 70, 80 yarder. We haven't seen this season, but even a 34, like a big chunk out of that 100, out of that 85 that he needs. The Minnesota Vikings, despite having a good rush defense, remember, they either like to play everybody back or rush everybody. So if Gibbs can sneak out of there, maybe even on like a reverse type of play like J-Mo, he could take one to the house.
Ooh,
and maybe that is only one rush to, take a big chunk out of that 85.
Would love to see that for Gibbs because he did get snubbed here. Some numbers to back it up. Gibbs 88 total yards per game to DeAndre Swift's 79 total yards per game. So he's averaging 9 more yards per game. Gibbs 10 total touchdowns to DeAndre Swift's 6. I don't see how you can put Swift over him in that situation when these teams have similar records. Yeah, that's the definition of a snub here. I think it's the rookie status on him, thinking that fan voting probably gets in there. I'd maybe give it to the hometown kid in Swift and Philly.
Is that where the Pro Bowl is?
No, he returned to Philly this year, so maybe the fans really wanted to see him in there. Voted him in there from Philly.
So we traded a Pro Bowler for a fourth round. Anyways, Maz is going to have a field day with this tomorrow.
That's BS.
Did you have one more thing to add? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just showing the facts for the people.
Nick with the facts.
Nick in the booth.
Amaras got snubbed while he's looking at that. Snubbed.
Your Jared Goff video.
Jared Goff. I asked him a question. It might have been a dumb question.
Let's do it when we get back.
But
it's a great video.
What happened?
When we get back.
You can hit it now. Hit it real quick.
One of you guys make the decision.
There's
the video.
Hit the video. Let's do it. The Jared Goff video.
J-Mo on that 63-yard pass and also getting hit by Micah Parsons at the end of it.
Yeah, it felt good connecting with him. I didn't feel the hit. Did I get hit there?
Yeah.
I didn't feel that one because when you throw the completion, it feels good. So yeah, it was fun. It was a good connection for us.
There we have it. He got hard. He got hit hard by Micah Parsons.
He did. That was a great question by you, by the way, too, because
thank you.
You got the people laughing a little bit.
Yeah, it was either some people probably it was either dumb or it was like I don't know. I wanted to hear what it was. That's a great pass, and not just because it's Jared Goff and it's to J-Mo. It was on the money. Like that was a big play in the game. It was J-Mo on Duron Bland.
That was
yeah.
I heard someone say that might have been Jared Goff's best pass of his career. Like that was on the money.
Stepping up into the defensive player of the year possibility.
Yes, Micah Parsons getting absolutely just dominated. Perfect pass right in the bucket there of Jameson Williams, a guy that is the fastest in the league. That might have been one of his best passes of his career.
It's up there. I wonder if I should have rephrased it like, what's going through your mind when you see Micah Parsons? Like he just stepped up and took. That was impressive. So experience next year. I'll have different worded questions.
Yeah. When we come back, we're gonna hit mailbag. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Drop all of your questions in the chat right now. Whatever you want us to answer, drop them in the chat. Nick, tell us about it.
Gonna hit mailbag like you hit that treadmill. Planet Fitness, baby. It's home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. They call it the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard somewhere. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you and check out Woodward Sports there every other Monday. It's what makes them Feldman Chevrolet, the Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're getting to the mailbag here, some questions before we wrap the show up. I want to make sure we get that as many questions as we can get in here in this short little time here. We're right there. I just want to make sure I get to the top. Real quick,
we got big news that Booner just uncovered, I should say.
So this is the thing when it comes to voting and Pro Bowl voting, when it comes to snubs and stuff. I'm a firm believer to where typically I will trust in the GMs, players, and coaches' votes. Like I do respect that because they're the ones out there playing. They know the game a lot more than me and the fans and everything. So I respect that. The only thing I don't like about the Pro Bowl is fan votes. This is shocking to me a little bit. The running back. We see DeAndre Swift over Jahmyr Gibbs. DeAndre Swift, and this is where I thought maybe the fan vote was all DeAndre Swift. That's how we got in over Jahmyr. Jahmyr Gibbs was actually fourth in the fan vote for all running backs. DeAndre Swift wasn't even in the top 10.
Yeah, so this was all coaches, players, GMs,
coaches, players. It was all whoever votes for it. Maybe there's media on it too. I'm not 100% sure when that. I'm guessing there's 33, 33, 33. Maybe the middle 33 is the media, and then the final 33 is coaches and stuff.
I'm okay with Jahmyr Gibbs taking, especially considering this, that the coach, that the veteran, the people who know football kept a rookie off the Pro Bowl in a similar, I still think Jahmyr Gibbs had a better season, but similar to a veteran like DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
But that's the same reason why I'm questioning your next piece of information about the wide receiver group.
So players are voted into the Pro Bowl by the coaches, the players themselves, and the fans. So yeah, the other, outside of the 33%,
so wide receivers,
2/3 of it is players and coaches.
So wide receivers.
So wide receivers as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sorry about that. Amon-Ra St. Brown is 7th in the fan vote, and Puka Nacua was 9th.
Which means,
so that means players and coaches voted
Amon-Ra St. Brown out in favor of Puka. That's what I have a problem with.
I have a problem again. Like he got snubbed. He got snubbed. I'm interested. I would love to ask a couple coaches and players who voted for him why they did that.
I think we talked to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the locker room tomorrow.
Ask.
I think she's gonna get asked.
All right, let's do a couple questions here.
Yes.
I know it's 10:01, so maybe we'll just do a couple minutes here of it. First one here, I didn't want to miss one. William said, "Are they going to involve DPJ more because JMO might be out?" Also, who on offense should have a perfect day this Sunday? I'll let you go with that one with the DPJ stuff. I don't know if they're going to go like nuts with DPJ. I think JMO plays.
Yeah, he's one we'll probably know. Well, I guess we'll know by Friday. He might be one of those they leave off if he's just got a lingering ankle injury, but he's made so much strides being on the field. DPJ, I don't know if him being out means that DPJ will get more reps. I wish we saw more of him in the red zone, like going back to the Dallas, the big plays at the end. Like I would have loved to see DPJ, and it would have been a different route. But like instead of James Mitchell, like you throw DPJ in there as a big body wide receiver. He gave me a go blue fist pound today in the locker room, so I'd want him to play a little more anyway.
Question: is it too late or is it too soon to say that the DPJ trade is a bust?
No, it's not. I don't think it's turned into what we thought. Like he's not a huge contributor on the field, but since he's gotten here, I mean, that wide receiver group, the offense has been scoring it. So maybe statistically.
My thing is, considering at the time how bad we needed a pass rush and how bad we still need a pass rush, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's only caught 3 passes since he's been here. I swear it's only been like 3 passes.
You're giving up what was it, a 3rd or a 5th?
No,
it's like a 7th. It was
7th?
6th or 7th.
All right, I thought it was a 5th for some reason. 7th, I don't know.
So I don't know. It alone is a bust, but considering you could have prioritized edge rusher.
Yes.
Maybe on that front.
And taking away draft capital for Brad Holmes, though.
Yeah.
And being like a new wide receiver to come in mid-season, we all know the biggest thing with Goff and his receivers, Booner, trust, baby. That's why he didn't get the ball to JMO as much as we thought. So maybe it's just a trust factor with St. Brown or with DPJ that he doesn't have yet, KG.
That's true.
Hey, I like this. Big Show Pick said, I want to hear your thoughts on the loss if we didn't score on the last drive. To be honest, if they didn't score on the last drive, I probably would have just gone in on Tuesday. I probably would have just gone in on the offense. Because if you don't score on that final drive, then you didn't score on like 7 of your 11 drives or 8 of your 11 or something like that. I don't have the exact number. I believe it would either be 7 or 8 of your 11 drives you got nothing out of, and you had the ball how many times within your own field. Like, I would have probably really, and I did go on against the offense yesterday with Ben Johnson and everything.
Yeah, it would have been disappointing, but I wouldn't have mind losing just the normal way on the first 2 points. Like, if it doesn't work, okay. Because he went for it because the risk versus reward was it was a smart decision to go for it. Worst case scenario, you're the 3rd seed. You win the game on the 2-yard line with the best offensive line in the league, blah, blah, blah. You take your shot there to try to go get that 2nd seed. You set yourself up. If you lose, you're right where you were anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you guys have anything on that?
Not really.
All right.
There's no real downside.
Last thing here before we end it. Chef Talks NFL. He said this is not Goff hate.
Oh, yeah.
When you start it off like that, Chef, maybe it is. But
that's where you start thinking about it.
Is there a chance we see Hendon Hooker at all if the Lions are blowing out the Vikings like the Packers did? 0% chance Hendon Hooker plays this week.
0.0.
The only Teddy Bridgewater.
The only chance is if Jared Goff gets hurt. And if Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt
as well, yeah.
But they can't bench Jared Goff.
So maybe it's not 0.
It might be 0.0001.
Yeah.
But if Jared Goff gets taken out to just because he's playing bad or to put Teddy Bridgewater in the second half, the only way Hendon Hooker can play as the emergency quarterback if those two are not in the game due to injury or maybe kicked out of the game, like Teddy, something not just for bad play. He's not allowed to play.
There's no reason to play Hendon Hooker.
Yeah. Right.
Like, wait till next year,
it.
man. Like we'll see what happens in training camp and preseason.
Plus, it's Teddy's last game technically
ever.
Yeah, so they gonna let him get some run in.
Yeah, but this will be his last one. He's gonna get for sure reps outside the playoffs. All right, appreciate you guys tuning in here. This full show. Shout out to everyone locking in with us. Hey, Amon-Ra St. Brown snub. Someone make sure you guys go check on him. Broder, talk to him tomorrow for us. Make sure he's okay. We appreciate you guys a ton. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Morning Woodward Show, 8 a.m. BDE after. Armani and Edwards with Maz to follow that. Heavyweights. And we will be back again live tomorrow, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in. We will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.